SharePoint? Isn't that just for basic document storage? Not anymore. Today I'll show you what else is possible with SharePoint. Let me introduce you to a whole contract and subscription management app entirely built in SharePoint. It tracks deadlines, sends reminders, and helps you save real money, all without leaving your Microsoft 365 environment. Let's dive in. The main goal of the app is to keep an overview of all the contracts and to keep track of the deadlines. That's why we have an overview of all the contracts which will end next and their deadlines. And if a user wants to manage the contract, they just need to click on it and then they will see all the details. So we centralized all the details of one contract in one central place, which is accessible everywhere and anytime. You don't need to search for any information or for documents which belong to the contract. What you can do here as a user, you can edit the contract if any details have changed. You can cancel the contract if you don't need it anymore, or you can replace it with a new one or with another one. As users have all the contracts in one place and find all the details without searching for a long time, contract management gets way easier and more effective. Besides the overview of all the contracts that will end next, you have an overview of all the active contracts which belong to your account. For that, we use a pattern because then you get an overview within seconds. There, of course, you also can enter a contract and you have the same options as you just saw before. So the overview is always the same for one contract. Besides the overviews on the start page, you also have a few action buttons, which you can see here. The main actions which users are going to use is adding new contracts. So that's why we place it on the top of the action row. Here you get a simple form which guides you step by step through adding a new contract. You need to enter all the information so you can be sure that no information is missing when adding a new contract and that everyone is adding the same information. So the data quality is always the same for all the contracts, doesn't matter who is adding them. Let's quickly go through everything I've just entered. The contract number will be calculated automatically. For that, we've created a pattern every contract number follows, so you always have them the same way. Subject is what the contract is about. For the account contract, you just say with whom the contract is with. For that, you can choose from the list of accounts you registered in the app. You will see that later on. The contract type is also a list you can choose from. You will see how to edit the list later on. Then a few notes about the contract and the term of the contract. So when you signed the contract, when the contract starts, the end date, and what's really important is when you want to get notified about the deadline of the contract. Then you will get an email, so you don't need to look into the app every day. A user always gets notified when a contract will end and can then react in time. After saving the contract, you get the chance to review everything. If you want to upload documents, you can do that anytime. For that, you don't need to go into the edit mode. You again can edit it, cancel it, or replace it. The main goal of the app is to make it more easier to keep track of all your contracts. So for us, it was very important to provide different overviews and lists. That's why we linked two other lists beside the overview you have on the home page. First is contracts. Here we provide a list of all the contracts which are registered in the app. So not only your own contracts, but all of the contracts. If you want to create a new one, you can do so here. And if you choose one of the contracts, you again have the same options as you open it, so you can cancel or replace the contract. For us, it's really important to give the users always the actions that they need at this time. The next overview we provide is a list of all the accounts registered in the app, so all the companies you have contracts with. If you want to register a new contract and you don't have any contracts with the company yet, you first need to register the company by clicking here. A form opens which you need to fill out for the company, and then you can register contracts for the company. Of course, you can also enter the details of the company, where you have all the contact details and everything you know about the company. And of course, a list of all the contracts which you have with the company. So if there is a company you have more than one contract with, you would get a list of all the contracts. And you of course can edit all the details of the company or add a new contract with the company just in this place. Last but not least, in all our skybow apps, for us it's super important to just provide the information a user needs. So the last button you can see is only visible to app admins. It's a centralized summary of all the actions an app admin needs. This way, also a non-SharePoint expert can be app admin. What they can do here is they can manage the user groups, so normal users and app administrators. They can delete the demo data. All the data you just saw in the video is demo data, which you can create with just one button click when you first enter the app. So if you once want to use the app productively, you can get rid of all the demo data with just one click. And as I mentioned, when adding a new contract, you can also edit the drop-down lists. For this, we linked the SharePoint lists. And as an admin, you can enter those and edit the details, delete them, or add new items if needed. You now saw how the app would look like if you use it in your browser, but you also always have the option to use it directly in Microsoft Teams. That has the big advantage that the app is used in an environment which is used by users on a daily basis, so they don't need to enter a new tool. This is how the contract management app would look like if you use it in Microsoft Teams. In this case, it's part of a channel, so you just add a new tab and add the app to Microsoft Teams. You have all the different options you just had when we were in the browser, so it works the same way. We can enter a new contract, see all the details, have the same options. We can add a new contract. And we can enter the lists as we just saw before. What's really important if you want to provide a list view in an app which is used in Microsoft Teams is that you provide a back button to the homepage, because in Microsoft Teams there is no built-in back button as you have in your browser. So we always have our Go Home button in the list view. The last thing I want to show you in this video is the email a user gets when a contract is going to end. So this is the information you will get from the app to make sure that you can react in time when a deadline of a contract is coming. You see all the important details and you can open the contract with just one click. As you can see, we just jumped into the app to the right contract. We don't need to search for anything. We don't need to invest a lot of time. You're directly in the correct place and you can now choose which option you want to take. You can edit the contract, cancel or replace it, as we saw different times. You of course also have all the details of the contract and the documents which belong to the contract. This makes it super easy to react in time when a contract is going to end. As you can see, with SharePoint, there is so much more possible than just storing and organizing documents. And the best, you can download this contract management app on our website as a ready-to-use solution for free. I'll link it in the description below. If you want to know how I built this app, jump into the next video. There I'm going to explain everything what's important for you. Thanks for watching the video. See you in the next one, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel if you want to learn more about how to build smart SharePoint solutions.